everybody, welcome to Cinema to LA News. My name is Chris, and this will be my review for Cocaine Bear. So, Cocaine Bear follows the true story of a bear in the woods back in 1985. They stumbled upon some coke and took as many big a sniff as he could, causing it to overdose, collapse, and die. People find it out, they stuff it, leave it out there for people to pay money to see it. But once Hollywood get a hold of this story, they slap a true story tag on the poster and exaggerated the events where they imagine if this bear actually went out on a killing rampage before he died. That's all, pretty much all I can say without giving any spoilers away. There will be no spoilers here. Now, come on, we're talking about a movie called Cocaine Bear. What do you expect? Now, I know when I first heard about this movie coming up and they were going to try and make it about the bear rampaging, killing people, I was like, you know what? Go ahead, that sounds like a fun time. Then the trailer came out, and even though I found it super entertaining, there were some people disappointed with the direction. They wanted them to go a more serious route and treat the bear like this crazy monster and give us a straight up horror movie, and maybe with some comedy in there. And while maybe that could have been interesting or kind of cool to see the direction they went in here, the horror comedy route, or just going full ridiculous with his premise, it worked so well for me. And I was not expecting much going into Cocaine Bear. I really would just want to entertain me, have been laughing a couple of times, and maybe see some cool kills here and there. But that's about it. I thought it will be a good little time waster, and it turned out having way more fun than I thought I was going with this movie. Props to Elizabeth Banks here, the director of this movie, because she nails down the human in here, or at least has down of the human that really appears to me. We are set against in the 80s, and they do a good job when they can to show off the 80s aesthetic, from the soundtrack to the clothing that people are wearing, even having a lot of this character carry on a certain accent that just feel kind of comforting and warming to hear on screen. She managed to find a great balance of having the ridiculous dumb characters without going too far into that route of just watching stupid people do stupid things. And go, this movie is so stupid, because what ends up happening, yes, you will end up saying that phrase as you're watching this, oh my god, that's so stupid, but you also enjoying that level of stupidness they're presenting to you in a fun way, because the movie's in on the joke too. And I'll tell you right now, Cocaine Bear is filled with so many characters that may be one of the downfalls of the movie, or the things that people may go a little There are like 4 to 5 different storylines all happening at once that interconnect with this Coke Bear, and this is just running around the woods. And when you have this situation like that, when you're cutting up back and forth to different people's storylines, different things that are going on, you're about to have a storyline here and there that's more interesting than the other, to me. Now, I didn't really find a storyline that I was like dreading to go back to, where I was like, oh, are we following these people now? No, go back to the other story now. I found them all equally entertaining. A lot of standouts for me. I was surprised with the amount of lovable characters in here. Isaiah Whitelook here as a car who is investigating why this coke is in the woods, while at the same time he's dealing with he has a brand new dog at home. And you have a park ranger that has a crush on the inspector that is just desperately trying to get laid. But surprisingly, my favorite pairing here happens early on in the movie, and it deals with 2 little kids played by Brooklyn Prince and Christina Convery. Now, in Hollywood, I think it's hard to find out like 2 little kids actors that are just possible on screen. It's even harder to find 2 little kids they are funny and have great chemistry with each other. The little franchise these two little kids have, and the curiosity that spikes in them when they find a brick of white power, it just resulted in so many hilarious jokes on screen. And I even really appreciated the way they kind of handled the bear in here, because it could have been so easy a situation where the bear is the bad guy, is discretion and starts sniffing this stuff and starts killing people pretty gruesomely. We're going to get to that, but since the movie's all over the place with all his characters or his storylines, there's an argument to be made here that the bear can be considered the main character of the movie, and you kind of build this lovable attachment to it as you see it go from power to power. And I thought that was kind of an ingenious way to put it off. And so when you get to the thing, they just made my audience get fully into this movie, laughing and camping. For the first quarter of the movie, I was getting a bit worried, thinking, oh man, are they going to do a lot of cutaways? Things there where the bear shows up, then on screen, and then you just hear the agonizing pain. That was kind of bumming me out. But then to somewhere to the middle of the movie, or best are off, and you start seeing this bear get really gruesome with his skill. Granted, a lot of it is CGI and digital effects, and I don't think there was a lot of practical stuff in here. There is some, but the gory deaths are treated in such a fun and saturating manner that you can't help but laugh and clap at them. Like when you watch the movie, my favorite one had to be the entire sequence involving the ambulance drivers. You can see a little bit of it in the trailers where the base is just chasing after that thing. The sequence that ensure has my audience die, and I really wasn't expecting to come out of Cocaine Bear this happy and entertaining. I thought it was just going to be a damn fun time, but it kind of exceeded that to me. Now, if I want to look at the flip side and be fair, because it's not a perfect movie and it's there to entertain and have a good time, which makes me feel a little unnecessary to nitpick it. But if they're going to people who want to nitpick it, for one, so the CGI, like I was mentioning, at times the bear looks great and it looks good, and other times it looks a little wonky, and then you miss it with some of the CGI blast and the limbs flying out, and it can be a slight of an annoyance. I agree also that sometimes the bear isn't on screen as much as it should. Maybe again back to the CGI issue, because you go to long stretches of the movie where there are the bears about to attack somebody, and you won't see that character again for another like 20 minutes, and that includes the bear also. There are slumps there in the entertainment while they build you up for the next gory kill. Also, while I really like Ray Liotta here, rest in peace, so good here. Towards the third act, the movie started focusing a lot of his specific story, and it wasn't just that interesting. By that point, you already seen so many great, gruesome, entertaining things that the Coke Bear can do, and you kind of not interested in this mobster drug dealing storyline. But again, like I'm mentioning, those are just little small nitpicks if you want to be really gruesome about it. I highly doubt anyone going in to see Cocaine Bear is gonna walk out throwing, or accept you're gonna walk out smiling and going, that was a really fun time. Elizabeth Banks and other creative people on this movie have already joked about a sequel in the cinematic universe they could do with all these different animals, because they recently found cocaine in the ocean and letting them pull off a Hollywood exaggerated joke story tag again with Cocaine Shark. And if they wanted that, and those movies are as good as this one, well, give me that cinematic universe. And this was just a fun time. Also, it has similar vibe to Pulp Fiction in the sense of all the different storylines interconnecting. But I highly recommend this movie in the theater because you're going to have a great time, and especially where the audience. Oh, it's going to be so great. My audience was just loving this movie. And that's my review for Cocaine Bear now in theaters. So if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, consider subscribe to the channel, and thank you for watching. See you guys today. Bye bye.